Hey guys, welcome back to the Metal Lounge. I'm Forrest, joined as always by Matt.
Dude.
On today's episode, we're going to be delving into the $100 million lawsuit filed by Fred Durst over unclaimed royalties, everyone's favourite chaotic hardcore band Better Lovers, their latest offering and the influence their guitarist and more notably producer, the famous Will Putney, has had on metal in general. Stick around for all that and more nonsense on today's episode of the Metal Lounge. Matt.
Dude.
Dude.
Been a while.
Did you hear about the lawsuit Fred Durst has filed?
Dude. I actually haven't. I've actually been in Thailand.
Oh, fair enough, man. Maybe the news hasn't reached Thailand yet, but...
Tell me about it.
It's fucking mental, man. Like, apparently, after like 20 years, Fred Durst has never received any money from Limp Bizkit.
Can I just stop you real quick? I'm not actually Matt.
I don't believe it.
just gonna put that out there right now.
Who the fuck are you then? Why are you on my couch?
This doesn't even look like Matt. We're doing Matt a disservice here, to be honest.
I think it looks close enough.
Do you know what's really quite frustrating? I put the beanie on, and I actually thought it looked quite good, which is really annoying. So I'm gonna keep it for a little bit. Tell me about Fred Durst.
He's the red-capped white rapper from Jacksonville. Redneck motherfucker from Jacksonville.
I didn't know he was from Jacksonville.
Yeah, well, he says it in one of the songs. So
that checks out, actually.
Check out reality. He's filing a $200 million lawsuit against the biggest record label in the world, Universal Music Group, over unclaimed royalties. And he asked for a statement and they denied him. So he got some lawyers to come in and they were astounded by it. They then gave him $1 million and were like, oh yeah, this $1 million. They were like, here you go.
Go on.
Just be quiet and just let us keep the royalties, just to try and hush him up. And it's not good enough for Fred. It wouldn't be good enough for me. I don't know about you. Like with the amount of like influence Limp Bizkit has had over the years, and especially their resurgence recently,
they can probably get away with like going, oh, well, there's like quite a lot of money.
So the story goes that they got quite a big advance back in the day, back in the Chocolate Starfish days and stuff. And apparently, according to the record label, they haven't earned enough money of that advance, so they were like, well, there's no point us paying you until you've paid that off. Don't know what that sum was.
I would like to know how big their advance was. Back in the day, recording was much more expensive.
The videos were pretty high budget as well.
Yeah, that's the point. All the drugs.
Yeah. All the hush money. You know, they probably got shit on them as well. They're like, if you don't shut up about this lawsuit, Fred, I'm going to tell them what you did in Jacksonville.
Yeah. I know
in Vegas.
I know you had one of those P. Diddy parties.
What happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas. If you keep prodding a bear, he will growl. Who knows what the real story is? But something's seriously gone wrong if he claims that he's never earned a penny from it, apart from, well, I suppose the advancement is a penny, is a pretty penny, but to never have earned any money since that massive advance or whatever.
Yeah. He did it all for the nookie. Quite literally.
He might do at this point. With Universal's lawyers, it could all have been for the nookie after all.
Yeah, well, that was in the contract. It was a watertight contract. Probably a lot of nookie.
Oh, yeah. Kilograms, tons of nookie. Apparently, one of the main reasons Fred Durst is doing this is for other bands as well. Like, he did mention that in his statement about, you know, he's not just doing this for him. Like, he's doing all right, obviously, for other like income and stuff.
The industry's changed so much in literally like even the last 10 years, let alone the last.
It changes
20.
just every year now. Like,
so,
it's you can't like get too used to how things are because every year they're changing drastically. The people that are so high up in these record labels, they probably are a little bit stuck in their ways. Like, you do hear of bands getting big advances, and that's a manipulation tactic, really, because it's like, we're giving you all this money which you don't really deserve. Like, they're giving them a lot of money to keep control over them. They're like, here's this massive advance, and now you're in our pocket. And you better make good on this money and bring us some money in. if I was in that position, I wouldn't want to take like 100k or like £1 million, because that's just so much pressure, and you're almost like indebted to them. Well, you are. You physically and literally are indebted. So I think that is one tactic. I'm pretty sure that's still the case. It used to be that was the only way to do it, whereas now, as you know, like there's so many ways to independently rise, get viral on your own steam. Like you don't need music videos and shit. You just need like a fan base to build from.
Yeah, but I still think that road still inevitably leads to someone getting big, and then they get picked up by a major label.
True.
I suppose what I was getting at before is how much money are these big bands making now compared to how much money they would have been making, say, the year 2000 or late 90s.
It's an interesting like conversation. Like it's hard to tell. A lot less, I imagine, because you used to make a lot of money from your music, whereas now it's all.
Well, yeah, I think it's obviously coming from different sources. Yeah, a lot more weight is placed on like merch and stuff like that
and
now.
Tickets. If you think about it logically, like
probably is.
There's no way you can make up that markup that bands were making from their music when people bought the mass of like singles and CDs and vinyls that people would have bought back in the day, compared to how much money artists make on streaming and how little like just kind of hipsters buy vinyls. Like it's going to be so minuscule. And I know bands are killing the merch games now, but it's not like they didn't sell merch back 20, 30 years ago. Like they've had to like squeeze that pie as much as they can. And I suppose venues maybe have got bigger, but then everyone wants a cut as well. It's like it's undoubtedly you earn less money as a musician, and also more people want to be musicians, and it's more of a there's just more competition. Like I think it just gets more and more popular on other big bands. So I know a band that's killing it at the moment is Falling in Reverse. They are.
Dude, I love Falling in Reverse.
Dude, I thought you fucking hated them.
Dude, I know all that shit I said before about Falling in Reverse and Ronnie Radke. I take it all back, dude.
You've changed your tune,
man.
The
new Falling in Reverse album is so sick. Dude, I bet he's got a huge cock. I love Ronnie Radke. That's what Matt would say, I reckon, if he was here.
Yeah. It's weird. I feel like you are, Matt, at times.
Yeah,
like, you're fooling me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I did spend quite a long time in hair and makeup today, so.
I want to hear your take on this, actually. Did you hear about Falling in Reverse? Another way they're making money. They're very creative in making money, actually. They're doing the VIP shit and stuff. Most controversially, they had those Ronald McDonald Happy Meals. Did you hear about them? So basically, online, he's selling these Happy Meals, which come with like bits of merch. I think they're like $100. They come with 4 random T-shirts, and they come with 1 unreleased Falling in Reverse track.
Interesting.
So, and I don't know how they're going to stop people just leaking it. We thought that was quite controversial before. What's your take on that?
Obviously, it's a bit of a money-making situation.
Yeah.
But I suppose, they are getting a product.
He shared his bank account the other day, actually. It had $10 million in.
Yeah, so that's a lot of nookie.
Yeah. To be fair, I doubt many bands back in like the day were earning like quite that much money. I think that's on the higher end, especially in metal.
But they are massive, aren't they?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. They're in the top 5. I think they're the second biggest modern metal band, according to my autistic analysts.
Bands previously have done things where like you buy like a disposable camera, and it's just full of like behind the scenes like photos that they've taken. I haven't heard of that. Or like you buy like a USB stick.
That sounds very black market.
It sounds very sus. So like you don't know what's going to be on there. Yeah. It's just all dick pics. Every single member of the band.
Oh, I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
Every single member of Falling Reverse.
Oh, Matt would be all over.
Matt would love that. I did.
I got it. I use all my life savings on that.
Kind of hate how Spotify seems to be like the benchmark for like if a band's doing well. It's like, how many monthly listeners have we got? We need to bump those up. I can imagine meetings where like, we need to think of ways to like keep that afloat. I feel like there's a lot of releases that happen around like October, November.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, the Better Lover album, like Will Putney released like another album the same day.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine being so good. You've got 2 albums that are really good.
I know.
Coming out on the same day that you wrote
that
you wrote on produced, recorded, pretty
It's
good going.
quite unprecedented, really. Like, what a legend. What did you think of the Better Lovers album, by the way? Like, let's speak a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think it's really fucking good. It was a little bit different to what I expected. With the first songs that they put out, it very much felt like it was the Every Time I Die guys continuing on from the end of Every Time I Die, like writing off the back of that. So it felt very much like a continuation of Every Time I Die. Will obviously had quite a big part in writing that album, and you can fucking tell because it's got that Putney stank.
Yeah, it stinks of Putney.
Yeah, it stinks of Putney. It's a good stank though. The first track, you'd kind of expect that kind of track on a Fit for an Autopsy album. It was
very atmospheric. It like really like took me by surprise in a good way. I was like, I really felt like the mood and like emotion they were trying to display in it. It felt like a bit grander than I thought. Like it was still had that obviously like chaotic hardcore sound, but it had a mood to it, had a real vibe, and I was like, this is a perfect track one, because it gets you into their headspace. It kind of pulls you into their world they've created quite nicely.
That track's done, and it's straight into what I kind of like to call ADHD core. Yeah, because it's just like, it's all kicking off, man. Yeah, and there's a few tracks on there that like I've kind of already settled in as being like my favourites. 2 tracks in particular. I can't even remember the names of them right now because it only came out yesterday. Yeah. But there's 2 tracks in particular, and I think the reason I like them so much is because they've got these really cool sections like at the end, and so I spend the whole song going, oh, that section's coming up.
It's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming. Because it's like, I think there's a guitar break, and it's almost like a sneak attack breakdown. Like it just comes in, and you're like, wait, where's the one? And I love that shit. I love it. Guitar solos. They've made guitar solos cool again.
Yeah, they have. Like, that was a bold move.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really appreciate the guitar solos. I think that when you've got that like chaotic sound that they have, like it's kind of hard to find breathers and the contrast between the chaos. The guitar solos, like you still embody that chaos, but it kind of gives you also a break from the screaming, and it's a different shade of chaos, which I think really suits them. Yeah. I think that was really tastefully done, actually. Yeah. Was it Will on those guitar solos? I think it was, wasn't it?
Sounds like Will.
Yeah, guitar player. Yeah, it's got that Putney stank.
There can be songs that have that kind of classic, kind of rock and roll sleazy feel, but they don't give you much of it, because then like it's very quickly changed into something way too chaotic to be considered, sleazy rock and roll.
There was one song in particular, it was like Deliver Us From Love or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one.
That one had a really weird like kind of sleazy chorus that I think you're referring to. And I didn't really appreciate, like I thought it was good. I thought it was like well done, but I was listening to it, I was like, is this Better Lovers? Like this it was just so different from anything I've heard from even Every Time I Die. Not that I'm anywhere near as big fan as you, but I was like, it took me by surprise, one of the most.
There's more depth to it than I suppose I was expecting. I don't know necessarily why I wouldn't have been expecting it, but
I think I'm sort of talking about it too soon, to be fair, because I've only had the one full playthrough.
I mean, I feel like I'm talking about it too soon, but I did get to live with the singles for a little bit. I guess you didn't really check those out.
I did check out a few of them. Future Myopia, is that what it's called? I think that's my favourite track, actually. I love that song. Yeah, and that's got the sleazy rock and roll a little part, but I like that one. As not a massive Better Lovers fan, like I really like them, but like as someone that kind of dips their toes into that genre, like I kind of just want that chaos when I listen to them. So personally, like upon my first playthrough, I'm a bit like, I like that they're doing what they want to do and have those more depth sections, but in the back of my head I was like, whenever one of those sections came up, I was thinking, this isn't why I listen to Better Lovers. Like I just want the chaos, just give me all the chaos, the ADHD core. A little bit, but maybe over time it will grow on me. But yeah, so some more on Will Putney, like just like the effects he's had on music has been mental, like in modern metal. Like he's really become a household name, hasn't he? So to put you on the spot, what's your top Like 3 off the top of your head.
What's that Knock Loose album called?
Different Shade of Blue.
That's the one.
Yep.
Yep.
That's a quality album. Yeah, I need to check that out more.
That's pretty good.
I'm more of a laugh tracks guy.
The latest. I mean, he did that as well.
I know.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a fucking great. That's a great album.
That's
as well,
one that got me into them. And when Different Shade of
same.
Blue came out, like I was still getting over laugh tracks. I was like, this is still fucking doing it for me, man.
Yeah. The Last End album, and then like who else? I'm trying to think of the
Stray. Any Stray?
Yeah, I was going to say Stray. Then again, I do like Stray. I don't know. I mean, their last album.
They're a little bit of a one-trick pony for me. Like, there's not that much difference between Subliminal Criminals and their latest album for me. Like,
I think the writing is way better.
Yeah, it's better, but the sound is still pretty much the same. Like, the drums have got a lot better, obviously. Like,
I feel like the songs are better on.
I didn't like Euthanasia that much. Like, I really like the singles. I like Guillotine. That's an amazing song. Badge and a Bullet 3. Yeah, that's really cool. But you know what really annoyed me on that album was I think it's one of the last songs. It like completely rips off a Deftones song. The drum beat. I think it's ladder something. Ladder work.
Oh, ladder work.
Yeah, it like pissed me off. I was like, that's literally the same.
What Deftones songs is it? Oh, You've Seen the Butcher.
Yeah, You've Seen the Butcher. Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's all well and good taking inspiration, but I thought that was taking the piss.
Does that bother you?
Yeah, it doesn't
bother me.
I don't know why. Like, it just does it. But obviously, you love Deftones as well.
Yeah.
But like, they're my favourite band, so I'm just a
'cause
little bit protective about them.
I sometimes deliberately put something in that I'm like, that is basically that. It's almost like a homage because that song generally doesn't sound anything like Deftones, really.
But that one part really
does.
But
that one part really sets you off, does it?
It doesn't always annoy me. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, that's nice. But like that particular
I could
one.
just imagine you're just like on your phone like, oh, I wonder if this is going to piss me off today. Like, let's have a go.
No, it's not like every time I listen to it, is it going to piss me off? It's like the first time I hear it, I can either be like, that's a nice homage, or they just fucking like ripped off my favourite band. And that particular one left a bad taste in my mouth, like for the whole album actually.
Putney should have really picked that up.
He should have. I'm sure he did. And then Craig is probably like, nah, we're having it in.
I don't know. Doesn't bother me.
That's good. I'm glad it doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I must be nice.
I always think, at some point we're going to run out of music. I mean, I don't think that really. I don't think it really works like that.
I think like
we've run out of riffs, man.
As long as you're referencing stuff that came out a bit longer ago, people aren't going to remember similarities.
What's the cutoff?
30 years.
30 years.
20 years.
20 years. All right.
20 years. Well, actually, that was 20 years ago though. When was Diamond Eyes? 2010. So 20 years is the cutoff. So it's 6 years too early.
All right, well,
them's the rules. I don't make them, but I abide by them.
You do make them.
I don't make them.
You have literally made them.
I am just a vessel of what the music gods are.
I'm doing a live channeling right now.
I'm delivered.
All right, well, I'm glad we got to the bottom of that.
Anyway, so that was your number 2. Euthanasia, your number 1 Will Putney album. Wow.
Dude, shut the fuck up. That's not my number 1.
I'm joking. Your number 3?
I need a list.
I actually looked at it recently, so I can remind you.
Oh.
I'll tell you my top 3.
All right.
I'll tell you my top 3. So in number 3, I know I said no on particular order, but have you
lied to me again.
Have you heard of a band called Structures?
Yeah.
They released a really underrated album, actually.
Certain bands, I see their name and I just think that's a forest band.
Yeah. They are
Structures
big forest bands.
Bands that have got names like Structures or Volumes.
Yeah. I love the S bands. I love the gent, the great wave of gent, which I would love to do a video on at some point. Actually, that golden era of gent.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that album gets slept on massively. I think it's called Life Through a Window. But yeah, if you're into that sort of like, it's not even actually that genty. It's a bit more kind of like new metalcore with like Sworn In back in the day, angry, riffy stuff. But that album, like, it really hit at that point in time. I think it's 2014 or so. Being British, I love an underdog as well, and because it was never rated that much, it kind of made me like it more. I was like, why isn't this more popular? But yeah, it just like appealed to me. It's got some really good tracks. It's got a track with Drew York actually, which I think you'd like.
Oh yeah,
because you're a big Stray from the Path fan. Yeah, it's got like harmonics in the riff and Drew York yelling. Really cool song. Can't remember what it's called. Alien is a banger as well on that album. But yeah, anyway, number 2, probably a band called Reflections, another S band.
Oh,
you
can't get enough.
I know. I'm the target demographic. The album The Colour Clear, another massively underrated album.
Yeah.
Have you heard that album?
No.
Definitely check it out.
I don't listen to bands like that. Bands with names like that.
Fuck you, buddy.
I don't listen to bands with names like that. I think it's literally because of... I think Architects, like... Do you think Architects started it?
Maybe a little bit of that, because like North Lane literally called North Lane after an Architect song called North Lane.
Is there an Architect song called North Lane?
Yeah, but Sam Carter. Yeah, why are you?
I'm such a fake fan.
Oh, that was your test. You failed.
Yeah. This is my trial shift.
You fucked it, man. I can't believe you didn't know that. That's really upset me.
Well, I had a really nice time on at the Metalcore Cafe.
But yeah, The Colour Clear, man, that album is so good. It's just really dark, genty, and it's got a bit of Sworn In influence as well. And that leads me to my favourite album, which is Sworn In album.
I was going to say, I was like, Sworn In, that's a Forest band.
Yeah, and also got that Putney stank on it. Actually doesn't. It's one of the most different albums he's done, because he is a bit of, he likes what he likes, Will Putney, and he produces what he wants. But that Sworn In album is probably the most like out there album I recognise on his list.
Yeah.
Called The Lovers the Devils, which is really experimental actually. It's about like a breakup, and it's like a concept album. But what I really like about it is it's got their classic Sworn In sound. It experiments with like really sugary pop choruses, and then the contrast in between how happy and like sugary and like twee the choruses are. I
love that.
And then it goes into like just the darkest, most depressing, ridiculous breakdowns ever. Really like challenging album. It's got a song called Scissors, and it has one of the most mental breakdowns I've ever heard, where like they changed the format of the vocals, like because it's called Scissors, it's like when the scissors cut, he's like and it has like this crazy like slowed down sped up sections. They just were. I'm sure they just said to Will, they were like, Will, like, you know, we're paying you like to make sick breakdowns.
Give us some of that stank.
Give us some of that stank. They were like, they pushed his talent to the edge with that song. Yeah, they have just really weird, like sort of esoteric, like surreal, like choruses, and it's just not. It's not. You wouldn't call it like metalcore. Like I'd say like it has a little bit of My Chemical Romance vibe actually. Some of the kind of emo-y choruses, but yeah, you have to check it out, man. That's my favorite album that Will Putney's done. But I know I
wish I knew those albums better.
I thought you'd know at least one.
Well, like I know them. But I don't think I've really listened to many. I'm a fraud. I'm a big fraud. I should not be on the Metal Lounge podcast.
Yeah, we've discussed that. You can't hear all of Will Putney's fine tapestry, can you?
No, but I'll try.
Oh, what about Radical? That was Will Putney, wasn't it? Every Time I Die. I think you told me to check out that album originally.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
that's like a fucking great album. And the one before that,
Low Teens.
Yeah. Both great albums.
What do you prefer?
Radical. Yeah.
Don't tell Will that.
I do like Fit for an Autopsy.
I never got into them, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like I've always tried to.
The last album, there's some good shit on that.
There was like a really cool like drum beat on one of those songs that I liked.
Higher Level of Hate.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I know that one. But the rest of the album,
I know stuff about metal.
You know one stuff about metal. That was the only song on the album that stood out to me, to be fair. But I'm more of an S guy band. You know, Fit for an Autopsy. Like
that's too many words.
Yeah.
For your
like
poor brain.
You know, I used to always get them mixed up with Fit for a King as well. a discrepancy.
I get them mixed up sometimes.
Yeah, because I was more of a Fit for a King guy, to be honest. I did really like them back in the day. So I listened to Fit for an Autopsy. I'm like, this isn't Fit for a King. I'm like, oh, it isn't actually Fit for the King.
You're listening to Structures thinking it's Architects.
Yeah, all the time. There's so many bands that are like that, actually, isn't there? There's like Volume, Structures. It's kind of like Shapes. Like you had like Structures, Volumes, Landmarks.
Yeah, who, by the way, I didn't realise they were French until I saw them live.
Yeah, with me.
And Matey Boy comes out rapping in French, and I'm like, my God, I'm at the wrong fucking gig. I just assumed they were fucking American or whatever.
Nah, man, they're French as they come.
I was like, they put in upside down, correct way up V as an A.
Yes, it is, yeah.
They're doing V's as A's. They can't be French. What French person goes, yeah, we should make that A a V?
Well, they came about the scene when that was really popular in like 2014 or something, so...
When Paris were about.
Yeah, Puvris, you mean.
Yeah. Who?
Headlining Trees.
Yeah.
Let's get our lineup, our perfectly normal lineup.
Forrest was really organised. He said, I've printed out the lineup so we can get it out and talk about it. And then he presented me with this.
Yeah.
So we're just going to roll with it. I won't be able to read any of the small bands.
Sorry, small bands. We cannot see you due to...
I do remember who some of them were, though.
A printing error.
Band called Last Hounds. They're pretty cool.
Never heard of them.
No?
I'm more of a First Hound guy. Cut that was terrible.
I've actually changed my mind. I don't want to do this anymore.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
They're cool. They're very much like... You know what I mean when I say they're kind of up my street. They're kind of like...
I thought you said MySpace then.
No. My band, I've played with them a few times. They're very lovely people.
Yeah, you would say that. What they really like.
They're lovely. They are from Birmingham, though, I think.
Birmingham?
Yeah. Are they from Birmingham?
I don't know why you're asking me. I've never fucking heard of them. But fair play. Good for them.
Lake Malice are playing. They are good. They're not, like, massively my thing, but they are really good. And they are very good live. Saw them not too long ago with your girlfriend, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I just borrowed her. They put on a really good show. There's some moments where it feels like you're at a fucking rave, which is...
That's
cool. They do it really well.
I've only seen them sort of snippets of them. They're not really my cup of tea, to be honest. They give me like Wargasm vibes.
No.
No?
You can't put them in that. You can't put them in that category.
No.
You fundamentally cannot put them because they're not fucking terrible people.
No, I don't mean as people. I just mean like sonically.
Maybe we should cut that bit. No, like I see what you're saying. I wouldn't put them in that category though, because they're kind of not.
Okay, what category would you put them in?
I'd just put they're kind of like a metalcore vibe.
Are they a duo?
Well, yes, but there's obviously bass and stuff and drums. It's not like it's not like Slaves.
I don't know. They just piss me off a bit. I don't know why.
Sorry, I meant soft play. They piss you off, all right.
Just stop talking about them, man.
Fun fact, I actually bought my TV off them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
So now you feel indebted to them?
Yeah, and it's actually really funny because, like, I was an idiot. I was basically an idiot. I just didn't think it through. 'Cause I don't have a car.
You thought your TV would fit in your pocket?
I thought I'll just fucking get an Uber to theirs and then see the TV and then just get an Uber back with the TV. TV was fucking massive. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, to be honest. But Blake, the guitarist, was a fucking
That's
diamond.
my middle name.
Is it?
Yeah. How did you not know that?
I don't know.
Do you know anything?
I've only just met you, to be honest. It was our first day. Yeah, Blake was a fucking
Who, me?
solid dude. And he was like, mate, like, don't be fucking ridiculous. You're not getting that in an Uber. And I was like, yeah, I realised that you are correct. And he was like, look, I'll give you a lift. And he did that. And
what
he fucking helped me up. So yeah, I can't say...
Maybe I'll check them out now. Just
I
based
can
on
only
that.
speak highly of them.
Okay. I have a rational dislike towards them for some reason.
Yeah, that is irrational. You should go to therapy, really.
I will, just because of that.
What else you got irrational? Oh no, it was the Deftones riff, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think that was rational.
Harriet?
I like Harriet.
Yeah,
I've seen them live at Trees before. They're really good. The way she makes her guitar, like, feedback is so impressive. Like, I don't know how she does it, because like obviously like festival stages are wild beasts to like contain the sound and get like consistency, but you'd think like she plays that festival every week, the way she was like the perfect distance from the amp and just knew how to get the guitar to feedback, and then she's doing all that and doing the most wildest screeching like banshee screams you've ever heard. Really exciting band to see. I saw she like guested for someone the other day actually. It was Silosis. She did a guest on Silosis' latest EP, which is getting a lot of good reviews recently.
I think she also features on the Last End album.
Oh really? That's
I'm
awesome.
Pretty sure.
So she's met Will Putney then.
She's got some of that Putney stank.
I won't go that far.
But yeah, no,
they're just acquainted.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I like Harriet. They do something a bit different within that scene. Some of my bandmates in Guilt like know them. Like,
are you in a band?
Well, kind of. Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, it's just I'm learning so much about you tonight.
Yeah, I know. You've only known me since I was 0, so or since I was 1 maybe. Yeah.
Dude, I've never met you before.
Dude.
Employed to Serve, are you a fan? Do you like him? Do you know him?
Yeah, I checked them out at BIM like 2016. They had a bit of a buzz about them then. I liked what I heard, but back then I was more into sort of jaunt and like fucking metalcore and post-hardcore. I wasn't really ready for them. But they're a band
with shapes for names.
Yeah, they don't have enough shapes in their names. Not enough V's, not enough like quadrilateral.
Yeah, I
Pythagoras.
really like them. I haven't listened to them for a while actually. I don't know.
Same here, man.
I don't know what they've done recently, but I've seen them a few times. They're pretty good.
You've seen them a few times? Wow.
Yeah,
you
man.
get around.
Yeah, I go.
You serve, employed to serve.
Gaff.
You're fucking up their arse, man.
There's a band called...
You were employed to serve, employed to serve.
There's a band called Gel. I don't know who they are.
No
but
idea.
I have heard the name.
That doesn't help us.
So we'll just skip that.
Let me
no, there you go. Stick to your guns, though. I really like Stick to Your Guns.
Yeah.
They are playing...
I like that one good song they have called Nobody. That's a great song.
Dude. That's definitely not their best song.
It's their biggest on Spotify.
Their best song is probably, if I had to pick it, and I Am the Authority, Nothing You Can Do to Me.
But yeah, I really liked Nobody when that came out, that album, where he's got like a little bit too much auto-tune in his voice though. I know when you look at me, you see nobody else.
I don't think that's auto-tune.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think that's auto-tune giving you that effect that you don't like.
It's definitely some vocal correction of some sort.
Well, yeah, I mean that's like a given.
But it's like very obvious, and it sounds a bit dated now. But I still think it sounds cool. Real good riff in that as well.
Real good riffing.
Kid Capici, is that from Hastings?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Represent Hastings.
Yeah, man. I really like Kid Capici's latest album.
I haven't really checked.
I wasn't like big on them initially because it's just not my thing. Like it's like
why not?
Kind of a mix of
they're from Hastings.
That kind of like indie
Did
rock,
they play the Crypt,
Arctic
probably?
Monkeys, Idols crossover. It's not massively my jam.
Definitely not mine.
Their last album is really good.
I'm surprised you actually checked it out.
I've seen them.
Really? Who have you seen more, Employed to Serve or Kid Capici?
Employed to Serve.
Really? You've seen them more?
I think I've only seen Kid Capici once.
Really? But you grew up in Hastings. Where'd you see them? The Crypt?
Actually, that's a point. I might have seen them back in the day.
I remember whenever our old band in Hastings would play a gig, I swear they were just playing every night we had a gig. It was like, the Kid Capici are on at fucking Pig.
Yeah, they were on at the fucking...
Brass Monkey or something. Tubman, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That time we played there, and I was running severely late. Like, I was on a train down from London, and I thought I was going to miss the gig. And somehow I made it there in time. And I think everyone must have been really stressed. I can't remember, but I feel like I was.
What venue was it?
Tubman.
Oh shit! Yes, I do remember that. It was really weird vibes that night.
Weird vibes.
Like people did not like us. Like we were not.
We were shit.
We weren't the right.
But like then we were shit.
Yeah, we weren't great, but it also wasn't the right venue for us. People just wanted sort of like fun, kind of DIY punk, and we were just like trying to be sort of tight metalcore with backing tracks, but we weren't very tight. It was just like
we also didn't have backing tracks back then.
Did we not?
No.
Okay, so but still, we were going for more of a polished sound. I remember having fun though.
Oh, we had fun.
Yeah, we had good fun.
We had fun.
Oh, we had fun.
I gave myself quite a bad concussion that night as well. With my own guitar.
You were fucking wild back then, man.
Yeah.
You let the spirit of music flow through your veins.
Oh yeah, it flowed. There's that stank, bro.
That's the Putney stank.
It was some kind of stank. I don't fucking know. I never really got massively into Alexis on Fire. Well, I've never seen them actually in my life.
Seen them less than employed to serve.
I've seen them less than employed to serve.
That's my benchmark for bands you've seen now, by the way.
I've seen employed to serve.
Thrice?
Yeah, thrice.
Thrice. Fucking
How many times have I seen thrice?
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Shall I guess?
Go on.
Once.
Nah, twice.
You need to see them again, man.
Yeah, and no more.
Alright.
Yeah, don't really care about. Apparently they're quite. What's the word?
Shit live.
Well, potentially temperamental.
Oh really? Okay.
Like they might be shit or they might be alright.
So that's to be feeling it.
Yeah, Kneecap. Who gives a fuck? And
never heard of them.
Paris.
Great band.
I was really into them.
Yeah, me too. I like.
Well, I don't know. Maybe their peak is now, and I'm just none the wiser.
I mean, they've got a lot of monthly listeners. They've got like 2 mil.
You love monthly listeners.
I'm hot on monthly listeners, man.
You're like,
so they don't.
Is a band worth my time? Let me check how many monthlies they got.
It's not quite like that. I just kind of keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
But who do you reckon has more monthly listeners? Currents or Paris?
I feel like Paris.
Correct. Who do you reckon has more monthly listeners? Paris or We Came as Bromans?
Paris.
Wrong.
Who listens to Weekend's Romans?
So
Apart from you.
2.4 million people, man.
2.4 million.
Yeah, they're one of the biggest modern metalcore bands. Fun fact.
Yeah. Okay.
They're my benchmark. Currents is like my low benchmark. They actually have a lot. They have over 1 million. And Bromans have about double that, about 2.3. But did you hear about the Veil of Maya? They should be a Shakes band. They're in that gent world. But Veil of Maya, their guitarist, Marku, whatever his name is, he had to cancel a tour for Veil of Maya because he wanted to go on tour with Falling in Reverse and Dance Gavin Dance. Oh no, I think it was as a Dance Gavin Dance guitarist to tour with Falling in Reverse.
When you told me earlier, you said he was joining.
What are you talking about earlier?
He was. I mean,
telling you now.
Talking earlier, you said he joined as a touring guitarist for Falling in Reverse.
No, yeah, I got that wrong. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, when you said like,
why does the band make a difference?
Well, because bear with me. I'll explain.
I've bared off you.
So obviously, if he was joining to tour with Falling in Reverse as their guitarist, I can imagine that would upset quite a lot of people. I mean, I'm sure it's upset a lot of people, being the Dance Gavin Dance anyway. They ain't exactly got a clean history.
No, but Tillion's now left. Is a bit problematic.
So I can imagine it upset a lot of people. But my defence for him was, look, sometimes you do have to put yourself first, and I would assume that his take-home pay for doing a tour as touring guitarist of Falling in Reverse would probably be a bit better than his own band. And I was like, I don't know the guy.
I think it's a bad look, man. I think
publicity wise, it's not great.
Bad look.
But sometimes you got to go, I need to feed my wife and my kids or whatever. I don't know if he's got kids.
Yeah,
I've made up a whole life for him in my head.
He wishes he had kids. Him and his wife have been trying for years to no avail. I'm joking. I'm also making up a hypothetical.
So I mean,
story.
If he's joined Dance Gavin Dance, then
I don't know if he's joined them. He's
just as a touring guitarist and cancels his own tour. Then
I think it's because
I'm
making up more fibs now. But this is my theory: is you know, Dance Gavin Dance got rid of Tillian again recently. Now the guitarist is doing the vocals, so he's probably like, you know what, fuck this guy, I can't do this fucking swan chord twiddly guitar shit and scream at like +5 octaves.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need another guitarist.
Yeah.
And then Dance Gavin Dance are like, let's ask Mark. Like, I know he's busy and I know he's got a tour booked, but let's ask him anyway.
Yeah.
Let's stir the pot. And Mark's thought, Falling in Reverse. Oh, who's it with? Falling in Reverse. I'm there. I mean, they're playing stadiums. He's probably never done that before. If you put it that way.
Arguably, like, it's a better tour if that's what you're thinking.
But as a Veil of Maya fan, as you are, like, how do you feel about one of your favourite?
Oh, dude, I love Veil of Maya.
Yeah,
I can't get enough of them.
No, but just put yourself in a position of someone that loves Veil of Maya.
I am. I'm doing that right now. I can't get enough of them.
I can't actually tell if you're being serious or not.
It's part of my charm. I can't get enough of them. Quite frankly, I'm furious.
Yeah.
Because I had tickets for that tour.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I had tickets for that tour, and now they've said I've got to have a refund because this fucking guy just wants to be in Dance Gavin Dance instead.
Why don't you just go see them instead?
Dance Gavin Dance?
Yeah.
Because they're fucking shit. I was being serious then. Yeah, not a fan of Dance Gavin Dance.
Are you not?
No.
How come? I mean, I can understand why you don't like them, but they're not shit. They're like...
Okay, maybe I used the wrong word.
They're probably the most...
Maybe I used the wrong word.
They're up there. As a post-hardcore fan, they are probably one of the most respected post-hardcore bands out there, I'd say.
By who?
By just post-hardcore fans.
None I know.
Well, I suppose the realm of post-hardcore that has like, it's kind of like singing and like screaming.
I've not listened to a whole lot of them. I don't know. I just don't think it's really my vibe. Maybe I'll put them on tonight, and maybe I'll come back next time and be like, oh, do you know what? I'm really sorry I said that. I
think you'd actually like them, to be fair, because they have that chaos.
Do you know what though? I think it's the association with Johnny Craig.
I love Johnny Craig's voice.
Yeah, but I just think it's just like soured it for me. So I'm just like, oh, do you know what? I just can't be bothered.
They had like 3 vocalists since him, to be fair.
Yeah, that went well as well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm in 2 minds about the whole Veil of Maya guitarist. I should know his name. I think it's Mark Okobu. Mark, I think is his name. Mm-hmm. Whatever. I'm sorry as I am a Veil of Maya fan, like, hand on heart. I used to be a massive
Me too,
fan.
Man.
No, you're not. I used to be a massive fan. Now I'm like their latest album. The album before that I really like. But yeah, as a fan of them, it does upset me that, you know, you're kind of belittling that band. Like, yeah, they are smaller than Dance Gavin Dance and Falling in Reverse, but just because they're smaller doesn't mean that they have less value, and like you're kind of disrespecting them as the brains behind the band. You're like, oh yeah, you can just like cancel plans in order to be in another band. Like it just leaves a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. If I'm looking from a fan's perspective. If I'm looking from his perspective, if you just get rid of the fan association, like, yeah, it makes sense, but it could potentially do more harm than good. You're kind of devaluing your main project. Like, it's not like he's joining Dance Gavin Dance, he's filling in as a touring guitarist, and it's like when he goes back to Veil of Maya, I don't know how much of a big impact it will have, but it's like...
It is a bit of a weird move. I was trying to create a scenario. The scenario is, you are you. Yeah. So far, so good.
I don't know if I can
you're in a band
resonate with that.
You're in a band called Guilt.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Yeah. This is where it gets a bit crazy. Imagine you play gigs.
Oh, that's a bridge too far.
Right, imagine you play gigs and you've got a tour booked, and like you're actually like, you know, you're not massive, but you know you're filling like 350, 500 cap venues across the UK, and you got this tour coming up. It's nearly sold out, and you've been asked to fill in on guitar for Dance Gavin Dance on a stadium tour. What do you do? Same time.
See, I wouldn't cancel the tour. I'll ask you to do it for me. I'll be like, can you do this tour for me? Keep my band ticking, and I'll go.
Wait, which one? I'll do. You'll
do Guilt.
Yeah.
And I'll
just put me on the backing track.
Yeah, I'll go. I wouldn't cancel the tour, but I suppose because he's such a big part of.
Is he
Veil of Maya.
Is he vocalist as well?
No.
Okay.
But like he it's just crazy guitar that and people know who he is. I think people he could still do it, but maybe it's too short notice to have entrusted that to someone. And you know the fans like adore him. Like he's known as Mr. Veil of Maya. You know, they've had 2 different vocalists Like they look to him as, you know, the main guy.
Okay.
So he was like, well, we have to cancel it. Yeah, that's what I would do personally. I would get someone else, even if fans did adorn me and like I was the reason people were going. I'll still be like, I don't want to cancel that tour. I'm going to trust it with someone that can do it. Yeah. And I'll do the stadium tour, but I'll keep that going.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, slight amendment to the scenario.
Okay.
Imagine the rest of the band are like, no, we're not doing the tour with someone else. Like, either you do it or you don't.
It's hard to...
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
It's hard to do it. I think, like, I'd like to think that I would say, thank you for the opportunity. Please consider me in the future, but I'm going to have to stick to my original pre-made arrangements because that's loyalty and that's honourable, and I'd like to do that. And it wouldn't sit right with me to do that bigger gig, but I can't tell you hand on heart that's definitely what I would do if I was in that situation, because it is such a lucrative opportunity. Ethically and like hypothetically, I would stick with my pre-made arrangements. Yeah. But when it comes to it, it would be very difficult to resist.
What if they got another good segue here? What if they were like, if you don't do it, we're going to kill your wife?
I mean, obviously I'd have to do it.
Yeah.
We should probably wrap this episode up here.
Well, thanks for having me down for this trial shift.
That's alright, it's my pleasure, man. You fucking smashed it.
Good to speak about some metalcore.
Well, that's about it on today's episode on the Metalcore Cafe. I've been Kieran, joined by Matt, and thanks for checking us out, and we'll see you on the next one.
Ah, dude.